Welcome to Coloring What Ifs. My name is Simon, and today we are going to have a quick review of the coloring we have done of Batman. Okay, so let's first go over it. Okay, so this was the image of Batman that we were coloring this week using the various methods, using a pencil, using a crayon, using a pencil crayon, and finally using a paint. So we did get various results using this, even though we were mainly using black and white, but each of these did look one way or another a bit different. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly start my review of each of these. Okay. So let's start off with coloring using a pencil. Okay, so this one was basic. It was basically set out like an outline. Like it really didn't have any color in it, but I liked how I was able to detail everything about, especially the different tones, like what should be dark and what should be light. So this did, especially the city area, which was really helpful in all of the other colorings, which I basically used to lay out the thing. So I found that very important. So using this Batman, it was kind of difficult doing the shading, different colors, because I did have to press, and from far you won't really notice it that much, but if you were to look closely, you can tell that there's different shades being used, like different colors. So I was able to do that. For the cape, I just quickly scratched in or whatever, colored in. The cape is just basically dark and light black or light gray. Okay, so that was pretty simply done. The Batman, like how I used it for all of these, I outlined it with a darker tone. Okay, so pretty simple. So this, I'll go on to the crayon part. Okay, okay, this crayon version of that Batman picture, it did look a bit different because it does have color, or it looks darker. I don't know if you can consider black a color, but for the city part, I was able to roughly use the outline of how I colored using a pencil for the city, which was very nice. The skies, everything pretty simple, just scratching up a bit. I was able to do outline of this, but like I always tell you, crayons, it's very difficult to actually handle and get a proper outline on everything. So the outline of this really doesn't look as good as I was hoping it would be. And the cape, although it does get the darkness, which I really liked, it did take a while just to get the proper color. I had to always repeat on that certain area, but I do like the black on this. But like I said, for this picture, it's very difficult to get into the right areas because it requires a lot of detail. But however, with this crayon, you could see more of a shade or like a darkness, so you can actually tell that there's a transition or a difference between the chest, the stomach, the arms, the abdominals, the head, everything like that. Okay, so we got down the crayon. Okay, now let's move on to the pencil crayon. Okay. Okay, so this was the pencil crayon. Coloring that I've done. I actually like this one. It actually helped by providing more detail. I was actually able to get sort of like an effect that glasses like it shades over. It's hard to explain, but if you look closely, you would tell that it goes from dark to to medium to light, so just basically get shadowed over the city, and I was able to get a detailed coloring of the city, which was really nice. Also, like, I was able to get a detailed outline of the Batman thing, so this was probably like the best detailed I was able to get, and out of all the coloring methods, and the head and stuff, the thing. However, in this case as well, it's hard to notice that there's to tell that there's a difference of darkness in shades, because the coloring, it's hard to tell. Like, it's, you'll notice this if you look closely. Okay, so everything else was good. It was easy to handle. Basically, it was basically almost like coloring using a pencil, except I couldn't make, like, this is a pencil version, which I could make the corrections out of, but with this one I can't, but I get a darker color. So, and finally, the painted version of it. Okay, so if you can see, this is the painted version of it. There's a lot of pluses and minuses to it. It took a long time to paint. If you guys can see the video, this takes a long time to paint it. Okay, so other than that, I liked how it came up to be, because you can see that there's each section and area has its own part to it, so you can actually notice that there's spreadings of it. Okay, so you can see the chest, the stomach, the ribs cage, the arms, the elbows, the head, the cape, and like I said, I really liked how the cape turned out again for this one especially. I was able to drag it along. And the Batman sign, it was really hard to do it with paint, because it was like the paint was going, like, I can't say everywhere, it was just not lining up as good as I was hoping it would be. So if you look closely, it's completely uneven, but nonetheless, it did look good. The streets though, if you can see, the streets, not the streets, I mean the buildings, they were kind of big, but not too deep, and they weren't detailed enough. I was sort of able to get some sort of differences in colors, like putting in a light gray. So that did turn out okay. I did like that, but I was hoping that there would have been better detail in this painted area, like this especially. They look kind of weird. Okay, but I was able to get a really good lighting right here, which I wasn't able to get in the other ones, and the colors. For the back, the sky and stuff, I just try to do it a lightly gray. I still really like it in the moon area. So actually, I actually like this, how it looked like, how it came up with paint. Okay, so I'll just give you my opinions on each of these. Okay, so Crayon. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. Okay. So, although I did like the pencil, which was good for outlining, and I was able to correct any mistakes I was making, but I just didn't have a rough idea of how it would look like my coloring, so I didn't want to go back and fix it all of a sudden, because like I said, I don't want to redo everything. I want to learn or continue learning as throughout this, but yeah, nevertheless. Okay, so the pencil, I did like it, how it was outlined properly. Crayons, usual problems, lack of control, but I was able to get a good darkness, like colors out of it, which did prove nice on the cape and on the sky, but proved problems on outline certain areas. Okay, and pencil crayons, I was able to get a nice outline using black good, the best probably outline of the Batman signal. I was able to get a general background of it, like light black, but it still never came out as a grayish color because you can't really notice the differences in colors using a pencil crayon, a pencil, and a crayon. So that's how I came out with that. My thoughts on that. Okay, so with the paint, the painted version of it, I actually liked it, but it's more different and it takes longer. So if you're willing to spend that extra time, I would suggest you try and do this because I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm not for sure how long you'll spend or how much detail you plan on doing on it, but the general sense is I really liked how the colors turned out, especially the body. The body was can't say I was concerned too much, but I was hoping this would highlight the different areas because I knew paint I could get a lighter and a darker coat of paint, so it would make it easier to cover Batman because he literally all black like his costume, but when I use white I'll change the color lately. So just comment and let me know what you guys prefer, what you think is best. Okay, and finally, like I always do, I'm going to show you the pictures that we will be coloring in this week. I'm hoping all of you guys can see this picture or know who this is. Okay, if you don't, okay, this is Iron Man. He's a superhero. Yeah, superhero. I'll explain more about him afterwards, but this should be very interesting to color, and I think a lot of you guys who like Marvel would enjoy coloring this one. Okay, so see you guys soon, and don't forget, keep it simple. Thank you everybody for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, and possibly leave a comment if you want to.